Hey, Michael here with Success Brothers, and today we're going to talk about probably the most important thing for any salesperson to really focus on, put a little bit of energy, a little bit of effort, and define a process and procedure for. If you do this, it will increase your W-2 tens of thousands of dollars each and every year. Sounds pretty awesome, right? Well, it is awesome. The challenge is that people don't do the work. People aren't willing to put in the effort because it's really simple. It comes down to follow up. There's two types of follow-ups, the pre-sale follow-up and the post-sale follow-up. The pre-sale follow-up is what we're going to talk about today. We are missing tons of money, tons of opportunity before we ever even get the opportunity to even do an installation, not because we were the highest price, not because a customer was a loser, not because a customer was credit dead, not because of all the excuses that we use as to why they didn't buy from us. When we really look in the mirror, we don't look out the window, it comes down to one thing. We didn't stay in touch. We didn't stay in contact. We didn't follow up. We didn't have a follow-up process. We didn't have a follow-up procedure. Therefore, the customer didn't feel as though we cared about them as much as what we probably really do. And at that point, they chose to base their decision more on price than on anything else. So if we really want to be honest with ourselves, and some will and some won't, it's, human nature is deflect. Not my fault, not my fault, not my fault. But for the real champions, for the true champions and true professionals out there that are hitting the top 5% or better of their industry, not only in earnings, but also in sales and success levels, those people are the best people to look in the mirror and go, man, what could I do different? What could I do different to improve my results? What could I change? What could I enhance? What could I modify? And this is an area that if you put a serious focus on for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and create the habit and stay in the flow, it will have a huge impact on your W-2. You are missing more money from follow-up than you are if I gave you more leads. Just because I give you more leads does not mean you're going to make more money. You could make more money right now today with however many leads you're given, however many leads you've created. You can make more money if you just had a good follow-up system. So let's just talk about that real quick. It's pretty simple, but make sure that you're hitting on all these points. First and foremost, when you run the call, let's assume you're doing everything else properly. This is just follow-up. You run the call, you're finished with the call, they have to think about it. They got to talk to their neighbor, they got to talk to the boss, they got to talk to the spouse. Whatever reason, the reason why you couldn't close a sale while you were there, it is what it is. But at that point, when you leave that house, you have to write a handwritten thank you card. Yeah, a handwritten, like with ink and a pen, and actually maybe write in a different color ink than what people are used to seeing. Maybe you're a purple ink guy, maybe you're a blue ink guy, maybe you're a pink ink, maybe you're a black, whatever color, I don't care, but make it, that's another good idea, is to make it a color that is unique, and so that when people get a thank you card from you, not only did you handwrite it, but number two, it's memorable. You're trying to make an impression. They haven't made up their decision yet. They got to talk to the boss. Even if they said, you know what, it's a little bit more money what we wanted to spend, what you do after that interaction with that customer is going to dictate whether they're going to justify all the reasons why they need to do business with you, or it's going to justify all the reasons why they're not going to do business with you. You choose. So do the handwritten thank you card, a blank card. If the company's going to supply you cards, great. Let's face it, 10 cards at Walmart cost you like $3, $4. Right? 10 thank you cards, blank inside, not pre-written. Oh, my handwriting's horrible. I don't care. It's your handwriting. It's your relationship with your customer. Handwrite it in there. Do it in crayon. I don't give a shit, but write a handwritten thank you card. Don't try to close them in the thank you card. A thank you card is out of gratitude. Hey, thank you so much for the time today. It was a pleasure meeting you and your family. Your dog, Ralphie, is the coolest dog I've ever met in my entire life. Great luck, great luck. I hope that I wish you good luck this weekend on the kids' soccer tournament that you guys are traveling to, or the lacrosse game, or whatever it is. You learn personal information when you're in that house. Use that in the thank you card. I'm here to serve all of your needs whenever the time is right for you, for you. Sincerely, Michael. Sign it, put a business card in there if you want to, not even a requirement. Put it in an envelope, handwrite the address, and put a stamp on it and mail it. It costs you what? 39 cents to mail it. Come on. I mean, at the end, but it's discipline. Go buy a box of, go buy a roll of stamps, buy a box of thank you cards, have them in the car, have them in your vehicle, and do it after every call. Whether you sold it or you didn't sell it, write a thank you card, put it in the mail the same day. What happens? They get that card when? You mailed it in their area today. They're going to get it tomorrow. Worst case, they're going to get it 48 hours from now. Well, you know what's funny is, buyers who haven't actually pulled the trigger and purchased right now today while you were there, they make their mind up. Statistics show they make their mind up of who they're going to do business with within the first 48 hours. That first 48 hours is critical. It's absolutely critical. So the thank you card just so happens it arrives within that first 48 hours. Well, how do you feel when you go to the mailbox? You open up the mailbox and you see a card in there that looks like a birthday card, a Thanksgiving card, a holiday greetings card, whatever it may be. There's a card in there. And you open it up and somebody actually took time to write a handwritten note. When's the last time it ever happened for you? I mean, it's getting less and less and less likely today. Today we're all about electronics and emails and text messages. And, oh, I'm going to wish you a happy birthday. I'm going to do it on Facebook. Or I'm going to do it on LinkedIn. Or I'll do it on Instagram. I'll hit Twitter. And I'm good. I did it. How many cards are you actually getting for your birthday? So if you were to send a card in the mailbox and somebody got a thank you card handwritten, wouldn't that have a positive impact? At least wouldn't that put you in a positive light? I mean, the answers are resounding yes. There's no negative side to sending a thank you card to anybody, especially handwritten, but we still don't do it. We don't do it because we don't discipline ourselves to do it. Look at the value that this brings to the table. Handwritten thank you card. Again, don't ask for the business. In the thank you card, just thank them and say have a personal note. Promise to serve them. Promise to deliver 5-star, customer experience. Whatever it is your tagline is, use that at the end. Put a card in there and mail it. I like to use colorful envelopes, right? Something that's like a lime green or a pink or a purple, because then it does look like a birthday card and they're gonna open the damn thing. Isn't that the goal? Get them to open it and see, oh, that was nice. Michael sent me the air conditioning guy just sent me a handwritten thank you card. That's pretty awesome. I just left an impression. That impression cannot hurt me. It can only help me. So therefore, I'm going to do it every single time. Now, 24 hours later, you haven't gotten a phone call back. Again, closing and all that stuff, let's just assume we're doing that. We're doing everything we need, the right process on that. 24 hours later, I want to send an email to that customer. Now that email, again, I'm not going to try to close them. I want to add some additional value. What else can I give you that's useful for you? Put yourself in the customer's position. Maybe you talked about an air scrubber. Maybe you talked about zoning. Maybe you mentioned replacing the ductwork. Maybe you mentioned adding a return. Maybe you guys talked about something, but you never really dove in too deep on it. So couldn't you then find and start to collect in your computer or on your, in your iPad or wherever it is, a file of all third-party information that would be of value to the customer? Couldn't I then send an email and go, oh, you know what, Michael? I was just thinking about you this morning, and I know we talked about the steam humidification products, but I never really left you any information on that, nor did I even give you an investment amount on that. So here, you know what? Attached, you're going to find the information, and to add that onto the project that we're designing for you would be X. So I just moved the sale up, right? I just added to the sale. I went the opposite direction of what most people do in follow-up. They see how they can go down, but I also added something of value. It was a product we talked about, or maybe we didn't talk about it. Maybe I saw the hardwoods, I saw the piano, I saw the guitar collection, I saw the exotic paintings, I saw all these things that just screamed to me while I was in the house. Steam humidifier, steam humidifier, steam humidifier, bypass humidifier, whatever humidifier works in your marketplace, but I never brought it up. And you're like, oh man, well, you can't go back and necessarily do it now. What a great opportunity to bring that up in an email. Hey, we talked about so many things yesterday, blah, 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 blah. I never brought this up. I apologize. I was thinking about it last night, so I wanted to go out and I wanted to get you this information so that you had all the information you needed to make an informed, educated decision whenever the timing is right for you. Let me know how I can be of further assistance. Can't wait to talk to you. Talk soon. Done. Shoot the email. That's 24 later. They got to thank you. Now, they get the email next afternoon, next evening. You can schedule emails to send out of Outlook whenever you want. You could actually write the email from around the corner of the house the day that you ran the call and schedule that email to actually be sent tomorrow night after 7 p.m. So you don't have to remember tomorrow night after 7 p.m. to do it. Leverage technology. It's there to make your life easier and make you more effective, right? Do that while you're there. You write your thank you card, you draft the email, you put the attachment on it, you delay the delivery till tomorrow night after 6 p.m. That's when they get home from work, they're going to be sitting down for dinner, and guess what? Boom, they just got an email from you with additional information and additional value. They got their thank you card when they got home from work today. They opened up the mail, they opened up that lime green envelope, they looked and they're like, oh, Michael, the air conditioning guy sent us a thank you card. That was sweet. And then at 6, 7 o'clock at night, they get an email with additional value. Oh, by the way, hey, I saw this article. I thought maybe it'd be of value to you guys. I want to get you all the information I could so that you can make a great decision or an informed, educated decision whenever the timing is right for you. I'm not being pushy in my follow-up, but I've just touched the customer 2 additional times after I left the house in the first 24 to 48 hours. How many times are you touching your customer in that first 48 hours? That's the question you have to ask yourself. They make their decision up in the first 48 hours. Make sense? So we got the email, we've got the thank you card, man, bingo, text message. How can we leverage text message? Well, maybe on day 3, maybe we skip a day, the next day we shoot a text message. Maybe it's the next day. Again, can you over communicate with somebody? No, you really can't. Communication is a good thing. Communication leads to good relationships. The more we communicate, I don't know if you're married, I'm married. The more my wife and I communicate, the better and stronger our relationship is. The less we communicate, the more problems we have. I'm sure it's true for you too if you really are honest with yourself. So at the end of the day, making sure that we communicate, it's not pushy. I haven't even asked for the sale. I haven't done anything to ask for sale. I sent you a thank you card. I sent you an email that had additional value on it. At that point, I'm sending a text message, just checking in. Hey, I want to make sure that you got my email last night, and that if you guys had any questions on that, boom. People respond to text. They respond to text faster than they do a phone call. You're going to get a text message back. Chances are right away. You're back into communication with the customer. Now you're in control and can lead that conversation wherever you need to go based on that message. If you don't get a text message response, even if you do get a text message response, couldn't you then call that customer later that evening? We're 48 hours out, they got a thank you card, they got an email with additional value, they got a text message in the morning, and now they're getting a phone call from me. I've just touched them 4 times. 4 times since I left their house in the first 48 hours, and not once have I been pushy. I'm just checking in, making sure, hey, did you get that email I sent out yesterday? Do you have any questions on that steam humidifier? There's a lot going on. If you want, I can stop back to the house. You're not too far from where I live. Maybe one of these nights on my way home, I can just swing on in, maybe give you the Cliff Notes version, go through that, show you exactly how it's going to get installed, what it's actually going to do for your house, all of that kind of stuff. I could be over there maybe Friday evening or even Saturday morning if one of those times works best for you. Right? Give them a couple options, try to get your foot back in the door. Now I'm doing effective follow-up. But what do we do for follow-up? Right now, what do you do for follow-up? Do you have a process? Do you have a defined system for follow-up? If you don't, this is a huge opportunity. And this is just pre-sale. You haven't even sold the job yet, and look at how much communicating you got. Your chances of closing the sale just went up dramatically. But most people won't do this. Not because thank you cards are expensive, not because stamps are expensive, not because emails are expensive, because quite frankly, we're lazy. Quite frankly, we put everything else in front of it as a bigger priority. Oh no, but I gotta call this customer back. I gotta do this. I gotta run this call. I got this paperwork to do. Guys, get organized. Get organized, get a process, and hold yourself accountable to that process, and your W-2 and the quality of your life increases. It's that simple. If you don't do the work, then don't bitch. Don't complain. Right? Okay, so now you leave it totally up to the customer, and then, a week or 2 weeks later, or maybe 2 days later, or 3 days later, you finally decide, oh, whatever happened to that Mrs. Smith customer? I should probably call her and just check in. You call her 4 days later, hey, thanks for calling, but we went with company XYZ. Oh, do you mind asking why? They're going to tell you why, but it's too late. Who cares if they tell you why or not? I can tell you why, because you weren't top of mind awareness. They weren't thinking about you when they were making their decision. That's why. Yes, price had an impact, but this guy was a lower price. He didn't follow up either. At that point, you're of equal value. Yes, we're a better company. Yes, we got better equipment. I get all that bullshit. But at the end of the day, if I'm top of mind awareness and I'm treating people like I actually care about them, I'm following up with an actual value, well, guess what? I'm going to get more customers. Customers will go out of their way to do business with me. They're going to justify all the reasons why they want to do business with me versus all the reasons why they're not going to do business with me. And it's true for you too. And I don't care what area of the country you're in, what part of the world you're in, what product, what brands you sell, what you quoted, if it was a trailer park versus a gated community, it doesn't matter. People want to be cared about. People want to feel like you care about them. And if they feel that, they'll go out of their way to do business with you. And if they can afford it, they'll make it happen. They'll find a way. They'll at least engage in a conversation with you, an honest conversation about it. Listen, Michael, we absolutely are totally blown away with the quality of service that you've delivered at this point. But the reality is, I can't afford that system. I mean, you went through it, and I love it, and I see that I need it, and I totally understand, but I can't physically afford it. We only have X amount of dollars in our bank account. We only have X amount of dollars on our credit card, or on these 2 credit cards. We don't have good credit. We have a 620 FICO score, and we can't get credit. Or, you know what, my monthly expenses are already maxed. I can't take on any more monthly investments. You know what? They're going to at least tell you the honest thing at this point. Now I can deal with that. Tell me their situation, be honest with me. Now it's back on me. I'm a solutions provider. My job is to find the solutions to your problems, man. That's what sales professionals do. But now they just told me what their problem is because of my follow-up, because they could feel that I actually cared about them. So ask yourself that question. Does every customer you've met with in the last week, in the last 2 days, in the last month, does every one of those customers know and can feel that you care about them? I mean, that's a deep question. And if the answer is no, then you've got to do something about that. Follow-up is going to lead to more sales than any other form of lead source or any other. You're not going to sell as many jobs, one call close, as you will on follow-up. Period. You're not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. So why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you have a system? I know the owner or the boss is always, hey, did you do your follow-up? Yep, sure did. Yep, sure did. But does your follow-up suck? What's your follow-up like? I mean, if we're calling the customer 2 days after we ran the estimate and gave them a bid or gave them a proposal, and we follow up like this and we say, hey, Mrs. Smith, this is Michael with XYZ Heating and Air Conditioning. I was just calling you to see if you made any decisions or see if you had any questions and see if I could help you out and get you on the schedule to move forward. Call me back. Bye. Seriously? It's all about you. That's all about you. It's all about the sale. It's all about the money. It's all about your wallet. Who's the most important person in the transaction? The customer. Stop making your follow-up about you. Make it about your customer. Make them feel that they're special, and make sure that they can feel that you actually care. If you do that and you're consistent and you have a system, your follow-up system will not take more than 5 or 10 minutes per customer per day. 5 or 10 minutes. Where else could you invest 5 or 10 minutes per day and make more money? Nowhere. Nowhere. So again, I give you the information. It's then up to you to execute it. It's then up to you to implement it in your daily rituals and your daily life. If you do, I promise you this, you will make more money. If you don't bitch. Don't complain about your W-2. Don't complain about not selling as much as the next guy. Don't make all the excuses as to why it's not going to work in your market. At that point, it's on you. I can do nothing for you at that point. It's 100% your fault. Look no further than your bathroom mirror as to why you are where you are in life. That's what this all comes down to. Make different decisions. Do things different. Let's face it, our industry, the HVAC in-home service industry, plumbing, solar, electrical, all that stuff, guys, there's so much opportunity here because so many people will never do it. They'll never, ever do it. So if they're not going to do it and you do it, don't you think you're going to, at that point, make more money, you're going to win more sales than you lose? I completely agree. Again, Michael with Success for Others. If you need anything at all, reach out to us. Comment below. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, make sure you do that right now so you're kept up to date on all the latest and greatest videos. Let's stay in contact, and I'm here to help you take your life and your career and your earnings to the highest level possible. Just let me know how I can do that. Happy to help. Thanks.